Hello everyone, it's your Options Guy. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Palantir and we're going to go over the option flow, and we're also going to mix in a little bit of technical analysis. So we're going to combine both option flow and technical analysis forces just to try to figure out, basically get a good idea of like where Palantir is heading, and if you're, especially if you're doing options, I think this would be a pretty good analysis to take into, and especially if you're doing options like weeklies and stuff like that. I think it's good to know like kind of like what's happening with the options flows and all that stuff. So real quick, I just wanted to say I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes. I'm basically just making this video to you guys, just showing you guys the data the way I see it, making my own analysis, and you can use this data however you want. This is probably like good data for you to use as indicators and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so Friday basically ended up with a bullish sentiment overall. So as you can see, there's more call flows coming in versus put flows. Now you can see a bunch of SPY puts coming in, but usually this happens almost every time, like on closing, or at least that's the way I see it. Like SPY puts always come in like towards the end of the day or like the last minute. So anyways, let's take a look at Palantir. So overall, for this past week, we're reviewing this past week that just happened. So if we look at the bullish flow, we see Palantir right here. So it has a total of 30.1 premium in call orders coming in. So that's pretty good. It's kind of like in the top 10. So as you can see here, Tesla is kind of like at the very top, and then Apple and so on. So Palantir is definitely like, it's been holding up with the top dogs, I would say. And then here's the bearish flow, just in case you guys are interested. So Palantir is like way down here, so its call to put ratio is definitely it's definitely pretty good. So yeah, 30.1, and its bearish flow for last week was 9.2. All right, so now let's take a look at what's going on a little bit more in depth with the options. So if I open this up here, so this kind of gives me basically like the breakdown of what happened. So here at the very tops are the orders that came in for Friday, so 312. So the one that stands out to me the most out of the ones that came on Friday was this one right here, the basically expiration for next week. So that's weeklies are very I would say risky, but someone is putting like big money in for next week for 25 strike, and they got in basically when it was at 26.80. So they're expecting this to jump more within the very short term. So this is the only one that really stood out for me on Friday. So if we take a look at the highest premium, so we sort by premium. As you can see, the big money is definitely up here, and so we have expiration of 618, 26 strike, and a lot of money going in that one. There's also the 820 with 20 strike. So this one is super in the money. And this one was also kind of super in the money, but this one, they put this order on March 9th. So it's relatively in the money. And then let's see down here. So yeah, so as you can see, is basically these are the big orders, and then you can just take a quick look at what's going on here. But I think the biggest takeaway is probably the 4/16s. So if we scroll all the way down to the 4/16s, because I think the reason why 4/16 is kind of important is because the double click demo day is coming up. So we look at the 4/16s, as you can see here, we have, let me go all the way up to where it kind of starts. So 4/16. So the strikes, if you actually look at the strikes, they're mainly around in the 30 range. So 30s, some in the money down here, some more in the 30s, and let's see down here. So yeah, there's a 36 over here, but overall the big money 4/16, 32 calls right here, 32 strikes right here. So yeah, so just take that into account if you're an option guy, just to kind of see like the option flow, but don't assume that this is all like 100% valid. You know, it can it can go up or down either way, but overall I think it's a better strategy choosing expirations that are further out, unlike the that earlier one that we saw for the 319, which is basically next week. All right, but now let's switch over to the technical analysis. Okay, so now we're taking a look at the technical analysis. So I believe this is the 6-month chart. Yeah, so we're taking a look at the 6-month chart. So let me break it down to you guys like this. So let's just look at the chart before we start looking at the other indicators. So this yellow line right here, to me it's like represented as like the strong support line. So overall, so as you can see, it's from here and then it hits right here. So there was like that strong support. Now if we take a look at the 3-month, so we're right here. We're getting basically what was happening down here was we had a what you call a falling wedge. So as you can see here, this is what a falling wedge kind of looks like. And then as you get closer and closer to the as these two lines kind of like almost intersect, then you can see a breakout happening, and then from the breakout then it can start showing a rising wedge pattern, and then from there who knows like how far it can go. But if we go back to the analysis, so as you can see here, we had basically a falling wedge, and then down here right here is where the breakout happened. So we broke out of this wedge. So to me, this seems like we're gonna start doing a rising wedge type of situation, because we basically hit this the strong support right here, and then we started going up, and then we broke out of this wedge. So now we may start rising, and then this kind of goes in line with the double click event catalyst that's happening. So I think that could be the reason for the breakout. So let's look at the 1 month. Yeah, so if we look at the 1 month chart, I didn't make the lines for the rising wedge, but actually let me just make a quick line. So the rising wedge would look something like this right here. So sorry about that, let me click on that right there, and then let me add another one. Let's add another line right here. So something like this around here. Yeah, so it seems like we may be bouncing up and down between here. So on Monday, it seems like if we are in a rising wedge, it seems that we're in the low end of the rising wedge. So we might have more wiggle room to go up in come Monday. So let's take a look at some of the other indicators. So if we look at the MACD, as you can see, the blue line right here is underneath the signal line. So usually when the blue line is underneath it, I guess that's a good indicator of basically having more like momentum shoot up after it starts to cross the signal line. So I don't know if I can zoom in, but there you go. Let's try to zoom in. There you go. Okay, so as you can see, if you look at the patterns, basically how it works, usually if the blue line is if it crosses the signal line and if it's going down, that's kind of a bearish indicator that we're going to be going down. Once the blue line starts going up and crosses that signal line, then that's a good bullish indicator. So that's kind of what we see right here. The blue line seems like it's about to cross that signal line, and it may cause like, a breakout right there within the MACD. And then the RSI down here is basically as you get closer to 70, that's usually when it's like a sell-off is going to happen, and then it's going to come back down. So as you can see here, this is the 70 line. We touched 70 and then it came back down, and then touched 70 again up here and it came back down. So another thing to keep into account is if it goes down below 30 or like within that 20 range, that usually means it's oversold. So again, these are just like good indicators of seeing kind of what's going to happen. So it seems that if Monday is a good green day, it seems like we might have that wiggle room to go up from, where are we right now? We're around the 62 range. So we might barely go up a little bit, touch that 70, and then start coming back down. Same thing with the MACD. It seems like we're barely gonna start crossing that signal line. And then if I go up, let me zoom out a little bit more right here. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, so it seems like we have a little bit of wiggle room to rise up within this wedge right here, because it seems like we're down in the bottom of the wedge. But anyway, so this is just my analysis, just by looking at all these lines and everything, and comparing it with what I see with the options and the option overflow that's coming in. So you can use this analysis and do with it whatever you like. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Anyway, so that's it for my analysis. I feel like Monday, hopefully we open strong on Monday. It seems like with the whole stimulus like being passed and signed and everything, it seems like Monday or possibly next week might be a good time for that push to happen for many stocks and many sectors, not just the recovery place, but I think also the tech sector is starting to do like a reversal. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you like this video, if you like this content, make sure you give a like. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'll be making more videos like this, mainly every day actually, to showcase what's happening like on a daily with the options and the technical analysis. I'll be covering Palantir and other stocks as well.